In our previous video, we used the checkout action. And our next scenario is going to be, let me use a draw IO so that you will understand in a better manner. We have here a flow chart. Let's use this way. We have one repository. This contains the code and flow, and we have another repository that contains the data. So what will you do? Your workflow, you would be getting executed from here to this repository. So what is gonna happen overall? This repository will be getting cloned to GitHub Action. So this is called workspace. This repository will be cloned to the workspace. Now we need to keep this data repository as well. So we need to clone the data repository as well, so that it would be so easy for us to deal with it. So whatever the change, whatever the transactions or the files that will be modified and saved, that files can be cloned to this or saved in this repository file folder, and then we can commit it so that we would be able to keep our data in a separate repository, and all together will form our automation framework. And if this repository, if something happens to this repository, if some developer continuously committed something or put some codes over here, nothing is going to happen. Our data will be safe here. So that's a plan. So let's do this exercise so that we will understand how we are achieving all those things. Okay, kindly note that in our previous execution we saw that there's 3 files inside this repository, right? Now we will look at again. We need the GitHub repository name, mandatory part. Reference is the branch, which branch we need to do it. The third is the GitHub token, right? Now let's do that exercise. For that, we will go to GitHub, and in the GitHub we have to go and create a new repository. So this is called data repository. I'm going to mention it data, and this is for saving the workflow data, and I'll make it as a private and add a readme file. So I'll put a GNU public license over here, and I'm going to create a repository. Now the repository is ready. Well, next part we need is a secret token or an API token. For that, we should go here and we should go to the settings, repository settings. Okay, so suppose settings here, and in the settings we have something called developer settings, and we have to go for personal access token and tokens classic, and we will be creating a new token here. Generate a new token. I'm going to save the credential. Okay, new personal access token has been come. So here I'm going to do or mentioning that data repo token. So this is for data repository. So I'll do a 7 days expiry token, and I'll give full permission, workflow, right, whatever, because when we do the production design, we have to be very clear that what are the desired permission we should provide, only that. But now for demo purpose, I'm just giving all permission, and it is just for 7 days. After that it will be getting terminated. Now I'm giving the full permission. Here we have created a token, right? So this is the token. Make sure that we would be saving it properly, else once this token is lost, we can't do anything. So let me save it here. So I'm just saving it here, and make sure that we will not be updating this into the repository, so that it will attract unnecessarily compliance violations. So better always keep this in your notepad and we created the token. Well, next part we have to do is we should go back to the repository here, and this is our data, and this is our practice repository. Now we will go back to the settings again. This is the repository settings. In the repository settings, we are going to create secrets and variables, and we will go to the actions. Here is the secrets. I'm going to mention here get token. So here it is what they have mentioned, token. So I'll mention the same thing here. That's best. And in this case, what is our GitHub token? So I'm gonna copy this token here. We will paste it here. So we have our secret token. The token is available with the admin privilege. Perfect. Now we need to call this token here in our workflow. So for that, we need to define here something called token and dollar secrets dot token. So our secret is already or token is already here, right? So we have already saved that part. Now we are going to copy this again. I'm going to mention name is cloning the data repository. Okay, any repo you can do it, and not a big deal. So here we are going to paste that, and it should be the sibling of names, and here we have some parameters. For that we need to define width, and here again we need to refer the document, and in this document it is specifically asking repository. Yes, we need the repository name. Next it is asking the GitHub token, so we are going to provide the token. Next it is going to where do we need to commit it. So for that, path, relative path under GitHub workspace to place the repository. So I'm going to define a certain path as well, so that it will copy to that particular path. Okay, now that part is completed, so let's assemble the things one by one. So here is the repository. When we go here, we have something data, right? So here it is Melvin Satish data. This is organization. Under the organization we have the repository. So we have the necessary things, organization data. Here is the token. So what we would do, we'll declare it as env.token. So this is going to be the API token that need to be passed. So here is a path. The path we will define, let's say that customer data, so that this repository will be cloning it under the folder of this customer data. Okay, and let's see how it goes. Here we have to do it again. Let's say ls minus lpr customer data. So we are going to define this many items, so then we will see how it goes. Also we have to make sure that one more thing, I'm just cloning this repository, the data repository again. So I'll clone directly because I have a plugin in place so that I can easily clone the repository. Here I have cloned git repository. In this I'm going to copy this. I'm able to do that. I'll go for this PC use source Melvin and here there should be some DevOps practice. I'll go to DevOps practices. Perfect. So here I'll just clone that. Okay. So I'm gonna open this. Now this is license. So what I will do is I'll just copy this file, agile practice file, under this, and I'm going to commit it. Committed the initial file. Okay, so this is what gonna happen, and I'm going to sync it. This file has been synced. If you look at it here, you would be able to see agile practice guide. Okay, and now that part is completed with the data. This is fine. I'll keep minimized, and here is our actual workflow. This workflow, I'm going to save it, so let's update it. The custom action. Now we are going to commit it and syncing the change, and let's see how it behaves. And if we go to the main workflow here, it started executing. If you look at, there will be multiple tasks. First, it is going to clone it is cloning the first repository checkout at v4. This checkout has happened at the syncing repository Melvin Satishan. That repository checkout has happened. Next is cloning the data repository. So it is the main branch is cloning, and everything worked as expected. Now if you go here, you have something called practice, and we have a folder called customer data. Inside the customer data, we have a file called readme.md, license and agile practice guide is there. So this way it has already been cloned the folder. So this way we can do that. Now how do we modify this document? That we have to create again custom actions, or a JavaScript action, or a Docker actions, or anything, and then you can perform the data modifications. Then we will commit it back to the repository, so that whatever the modified data, that would be visible in the repository. We will perform that action in the next video. Till then, bye. Thank you so much.